But he isn't always just about making a profit. Dave buying this place so he can guarantee the quality of his neighbours and also that nobody's going to build right next door to his house. In terms of what he's going to do with this place, well, I believe this could be a beautiful house. But for £10,000 to £12,000, I don't think so. You can find out how he gets on later in the show.
Coming up, the first thing that draws me to this house in Ramsgate isn't the sea, but
these lovely, huge curved bay windows. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Back in Staffordshire, is it a case of hello, what's going on here then?
My wife said, do nothing for a week and then I'm going to crash back on and finish it off.
But first, we find out if Steve's gift of the gab backed him a bargain.
It just was very nice on the phone to the freeholder.
Earlier, we met Steve, a builder. He originally went to the auction to bid for some friends, but ended up buying this lower ground floor flat himself for £140,000. It's in Crystal Palace, South London, but it's not exactly regal, more like a palace dungeon. But Steve had great plans. With 27 years in the business, lots of experience. So 5 months on, we returned to see if the flat, with low initial appeal, now had a high wow rating. Well, wow factor there is, and plenty of it. The shabby lounge is now a beautifully laid out open-plan kitchen diner. And connecting the unusable box room has added a new dimension to this room.
Well, I think that the layout originally was just a bad layout. And it needed improving. So I asked my architect at the time what he thought, and we did a few sketches, and we sort of had a little chat with each other, and that's what we came up with.
That small box room was definitely little use as it was, so integrating it with the lounge has totally transformed this area. And down that shabby corridor, tired back bedroom has seen its own total transformation.
Well, this is the second bedroom, and this is where we've had the most dramatic change, I think. I mean, originally we had a kitchen here. We've been able to knock the wall through here, get these bifold doors, and get a built-in wardrobe here, and also a lovely ensuite, which I think is a dramatic change.
Sealing off the kitchen door has allowed Steve to create a beautiful ensuite wet room that has taste and top quality in every corner. The same design style has been brought to the old bathroom. In contrast, the other bedroom has had a pleasant, if unspectacular, makeover. Steve has used an interior designer to create the right combination of style and selling points throughout.
Well, I need to get somebody in to deal with the colours and the sort of the quality of the finish, you know. I'm more of a hands-on, you know, in the ground builder.
Steve may not be comfortable with paint palettes and soft furnishings, but he certainly knows his stuff when it comes to the exterior design.
So here we are in the garden, in the middle of the Dow symbol. It's a very important feature in this project, the garden, to integrate the inside and the outside space. I did a lot of work here myself, and I'm very pleased with it.
When it came to that messy garden, Steve looked to the Far East for inspiration for its elegantly updated new look. Remember, Steve got the garden for nothing, which he now reckons has added £30,000 to the property's value. While there's no doubt that the transformation into a swanky urban pad has been a great success, was it necessary to do it to such a high standard?
Well, I think you've really got to up the ante in this market, you know, because things are not too good, and anything that is going to sell has got to be, you know, it's got to be top quality.
That quality is evident throughout. As renovations go, there were very few problems with this job. The damp was just a bit of condensation, which was easily solved. No rewiring was necessary, and only a new boiler was needed for the heating. Even so, for such an impressive conversion, I can't believe Steve stayed within his £10,000 to £15,000 budget.
We went up to about 22,500, but I've reused some materials on other jobs that I've got, so I don't know exactly what figure that would come to, but there's a little bit more than that to add.
For £22,000 plus, this renovation looks amazing. Added to Steve's purchase price of £140,000, that would take his costs here to about £163,000. So what are his plans?
Well, you know, I think I'll put it on the market for a month, see what happens, and if I don't get a good buyer, and when I say a good buyer, I mean somebody who can, you know, get a mortgage, I'll rent it.
Bearing in mind that outlay of £163,000, we asked 2 local estate agents what they thought of the work.
Walking into a flat that was very dark, very dank, it felt like a basement flat, you felt like nobody wanted to live here. And then walk into this beautiful flat, and to be honest with you, I'm ready to move in.
First impressions of the property, fantastic. Really, really good job. High quality, great finish, light, bright. Very, very good job. First arrival at the property, you walk into the garden and it's just fantastic. Beautifully landscaped, into the double doors into the kitchen. Very good quality again. It's just, from start to finish, it's a superb job.
And what he's done here, I think he has a complete lifestyle package with the garden. He's got the yin and yang landscapes in there. The whole thing's got tranquility built into it, and everything's about feeling the right way. And I just love the feeling you get when you walk in through the door.
Creating that positive vibe is always important when selling. But did Steve go over the top with the finish?
In a tough market, the quality of the flat will shine through. There is still demand for high-end properties. It's the lower end, cheaper properties that are struggling. There is always going to be demand for something like this.
What could the flat achieve if sold?
If I were to put this property on the market today, I'd be put an asking price of £275,000.
Having looked at the property, I would value it between the 250,000 and 240,000 mark, just because I don't think people are prepared to go over stamp duty by 5 or 10,000. But 250 would be top end in the current market.
I think 260 and then sell it under stamp, under 250. That's what it's going to sell for.
And he was spot on, because 2 days later, Steve accepted an offer for the flat for £250,000. That should see him make a pre-tax profit of at least 70 grand. So an excellent and quick result there for him. And after all his time in the business, the pleasure of the deal is still there.
Well, I'm 27 years looking at houses. I wouldn't say I get emotional, but I still enjoy every one of them that I do.
Oh, Ramsgate in Kent.